And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. We do have some breaking news to get to. This coming out of the Supreme Court just last hour here. This is what we know here. Well, the Supreme Court today saying that the Trump administration must work to bring back a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to prison in El Salvador. This is a rejection of the administration's emergency appeal. In this case here, the court acted in the case of Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, a Salvadoran citizen who had an immigration court order preventing his deportation to his native country over fears he would face persecution from local gangs. Now, the U.S. district judge in all of this, in the lower court, had ordered Abrego Garcia, now being held in a notorious Salvadoran prison, return to the United States by midnight on Monday. The court said in an unsigned order with no noted dissents, quote, the order properly requires the government to, quote unquote, facilitate Abrego Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador and to ensure his case is handled as it would have been had he not been improperly sent to El Salvador. So, like I said, this is breaking right now, and this was a unanimous order by the Supreme Court, 9-0. Now, this comes after a string of rulings on the court's emergency docket, where the conservative majority has at least partially sided with Trump amid a wave of lower court orders slowing the president's sweeping agenda. Though in this case today, Chief Justice John Roberts had already pushed back the lower court judge's deadline. The justices also said that her order must now be clarified to make sure it doesn't intrude into executive branch power over foreign affairs, since Abrego Garcia is being held abroad. The court said the Trump administration should also be prepared to share what steps it has taken to try to get him back and what more it could potentially do here. Kyle Cheney, who covers the Supreme Court for Politico, with the very brief order there saying, breaking, the Supreme Court will require the Trump administration to facilitate the return of Kilmar Armando Garcia. I believe we also have in as well a statement there from the Department of Justice, Josh Gerstein at Politico as well, the DOJ saying this, quote, as the Supreme Court correctly recognized, it is the exclusive prerogative of the president to conduct foreign affairs. By directly noting the deference owed to the executive branch, this ruling once again illustrates that activist judges do not have the jurisdiction to seize control of the president's authority to conduct foreign policy. So this case really set up a battle between whether or not the courts have jurisdiction over a president's foreign policy moves vis-a-vis El Salvador, also vis-a-vis illegal immigration. Now, the administration claims Abrego Garcia is a member of the MS-13 gang. Let's put his photo up yet again. Though he's never been charged with or convicted of a crime, his attorney said there's no evidence he was an MS-13. Now, the administration has conceded that it made a mistake in sending him to El Salvador, but it argued at the time it no longer could do anything about it. The court's liberal justices said the administration should have hastened to correct its, quote, egregious error and was, quote, plainly wrong to suggest it could not bring him home. So the administration acknowledging this was a mistake, that Garcia was deported to a Salvadoran prison, a notorious one at that. And now the Supreme Court, in a unanimous 9-0 ruling today, 9-0, saying the Trump administration must, quote unquote, facilitate his return. So we'll wait to see what that facilitation looks like and what that facilitation means.